Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome to today's reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter number 13, verse number 65. We will continue our reading from Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamam Vande Shri Gurum Dinitarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. लीला वेशे प्रभुरा नाही निजानु संधान इच्छा जानी लीला शक्ति करे समाधान. Indeed, the personality of Godhead forgot himself in the course of his transcendental pastimes, but his internal potency Lila Shakti, knowing the intentions of the Lord, made all arrangements purported by his divine grace. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It is stated in the Upanishads, Parasaya Shakti Vividhaiva Shruyate Swabhaviki Jnana Bala Kriyacha. The Supreme Lord has multipotencies which act so perfectly that all consciousness, strength, and activity are being directed solely by His will. This is from the Shvetashvatar Upanishad 6.8. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited his mystic power in presenting himself simultaneously in each and every Sankirtan group. Most people thought that he was one, but some saw that he was many. The internal devotees could understand that the Lord, although one, was exhibiting himself as many in the different Sankirtan groups. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced, he forgot himself and was simply absorbed in ecstatic bliss, but his internal potency arranged everything perfectly. This is the difference between the internal and external potency. In the material world, the external potency, which is the material energy, can act only after one endeavors at great length, but when the Supreme Lord desires, everything is performed automatically by the internal potency. By His will, things happen so nicely and perfectly that they appear to be carried out automatically. Sometimes the activities of the internal potency are exhibited in the material world. In fact, all the activities of material nature are actually performed by the inconceivable energies of the Lord, but so-called scientists and students of material nature are unable to understand ultimately how things are happening. They evasively conclude that everything is being done by nature, but they do not know that behind nature is the potent Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna explains this is in the Bhagavad-Gita 9.10. Maya Thyakshena Prakritihi Suyate Sacharacharam Hetu Nanena Kaunteya Jagat Vipari Vartate. This material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction. O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. Verse 66. Purve yaiche rasadi lila kaile vrindavane alaukik lila gora kaila kshane kshane. Just as the Lord Sri Krishna formerly performed the Rasa Lila dance and other pastimes at Vrindavan, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed uncommon pastimes moment after moment. Verse 67. Bhaktagana anubhave nahi jane an Shri Bhagavat Shastra tahate praman. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's dancing before the Ratha-yātrā car could be perceived only by pure devotees. Others could not understand. Descriptions of Lord Krishna's uncommon dancing can be found in the revealed scripture Srimad Bhagavatam purport. Lord Sri Krishna expanded himself into many forms while engaged in the Rasa Leela dance, and he also expanded himself when he married 16,000 wives in Dwarka. The same process was adopted by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he expanded himself into 7 forms to dance in each and every group of the Sankirtan party. These expansions were appreciated by pure devotees including King Prataprudra. Although for reasons of external formality, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu refused to see King Prataprudra because he was a king. King Prataprudra became one of the Lord's most confidential devotees by the Lord's special mercy upon him. The king could see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu simultaneously present in all 7 groups As confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam, one cannot see the expansions of the transcendental forms of the Lord unless one is a pure devotee of the Lord. Verse 68, Ei mata Mahaprabhu kare nritya range, Bhasaila sabaloka premera tarange. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced in great jubilation and inundated all the people with waves of ecstatic love. Verse 69, Ei mata haila Krishnera Ratha arohana, Tar age Prabhu nachaila bhakta gana. Thus Lord Jagannath mounted his car and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inspired all his devotees to dance in front of it. Verse 70, Age shuna Jagannathera gundicha gamana, tar age Prabhu yaiche karila nartana. Now please hear about Lord Jagannath's going to the Gundicha temple while Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced before the Ratha car. Verse 71, Aimata kirtan Prabhu karila keita kshana apan udyoge nachaila bhaktagana. The Lord performed kirtan for some time and through his own endeavor inspired all the devotees to dance. Verse 72, Apani nachite yabe prabhura manhaila sat sampradaya tabe ekatra karila. When the Lord himself wanted to dance, all 7 groups combined together. Verse 73, Srivasa Ramai Raghu Govind Mukund Haridas Govindanand Madhav Govind. The Lord's devotees including Srivas, Ramai, Raghu, Govind, Mukund, Haridas, Govindanand, Madhav and Govinda all combined together. Verse 74, Uddanda Nritye Prabhura Yabe Haila Mana Swarupera Sangeet Dila Ei Navajana. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu desired to jump high while dancing, he placed these 9 people in charge of the Swarup Damodar. Verse 75, E Dasha Janas Prabhura Sange Gaye Dhaye Ar Sab Sampradaye Chari Dike Gaye. These devotees, Swarup Damodar and the devotees in charge, sang along with the Lord and they also ran beside him. All the other groups of men also sang. Verse 76, Dandavat Kari Prabhu Yuri Dui Hat Urdhva Mukhe Stuti Kare Dekhi Jagannath. Offering obeisances to the Lord with folded hands, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu raised his face toward Jagannath and prayed as follows. Verse 77, Namo Brahmanaya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Krishna, who is the worshipable deity of all Brahminical men, who is the well-wisher of cows and Brahmans, and who is always benefiting the whole world. I offer my repeated obeisances to the personality of Godhead known as Krishna and Govinda. Purport, this is a quotation from Vishnu Puran 1.19.65, verse number 78. Jayati Jayati Devo Devaki Nandano So Jayati Jayati Krishna Vrishni Vamsha Pradipaha Jayati Jayati Megha Shyamalaha Komalango Jayati Jayati Prithvi Bhara Naso Mukundaha. All glories unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as the Son of Devaki. All glories to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as the light of the dynasty of Vrishni. All glories to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose bodily luster is like that of a new cloud, and whose body is as soft as a lotus flower. All glories to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who appeared on this planet to deliver the world from the burden of demons and who can offer liberation to everyone. Purport, this is a verse from Mukundamala 2, verse number 79. Jayati Jannivaso Devaki Janmavado Yadu Var Parishat Swair Durbhir Asyan Adharmam Sthirachar Vrijna Gnaha Susmita Shri Mukhera Vrajapura Vanitanam Vardhayan Kam Devam. Lord Shri Krishna is he who is known as Jananivas, the ultimate resort of all living entities, and who is also known as Devaki Nandan or Yashoda Nandan, the son of Devaki and Yashoda. He is the guide of the Yadu dynasty, and with his mighty arms he kills everything inauspicious as well as every man who is impious. By his presence he destroys all things inauspicious for all living entities. Moving and inert, his blissful smiling face always increases the lusty desires of the gopis of Vrindavan. May he be all glorious and happy. Purport: this is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.90.48. Verse 80. Naham vipro nacha narapatir napi vaishyo na shudro naham varni nacha griha patir no vanastho yatirva kintu prodyan nikhila paramanand purnamamritabher gopi bhartu padakamalayur dasa anudasa. I'm not a Brahman, I'm not a Kshatriya, I'm not a Vaishya or a Shudra, nor am I a Brahmachari, a householder or Vanaprastha or a Sannyasi. I identify myself only as a servant of the servant of the servant of the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna, the maintainer of the gopis. He is like an ocean of nectar and he is the cause of universal transcendental bliss. He is always existing with brilliance. Purport: this is verse 74 from the Padyavali, an anthology of verses compiled by Srila Rupa Goswami. Verse 81. Eta padi punarapi karila pranam yoda hate bhakta gana vande bhagwan. Having recited all these verses from scripture, the Lord again offered his obeisances, and all the devotees with folded hands also offered prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Verse 82. Uddanda nritya prabhu kariya hunkar chakra brahmi brahme Yaiche alat akar. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced and jumped high, roaring like thunder and moving in a circle like a wheel, he appeared like a circling firebrand. Purport: if a burning cinder of a firebrand is whirled about very swiftly, it gives the appearance of a circle of fire. This is called alat akar or alat chakra, a firebrand circle. This whole circle is not actually made of fire but is a single fire in motion. Similarly, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a single personality, but when he danced and jumped high in a circle, he appeared like the Alat Chakra. Verse 83. Nritya Prabhura Yanha Pade Padatal Sasagar Shaila Mahi Kare Talamal. Wherever Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stepped while dancing, the whole earth with its hills and seas appeared to tilt. Verse 84. Stambha Sweda Pulaka Ashru Kampa Vaivaranya Nana Bhave Vivashta Garva Harsha Dainya. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced, he displayed various blissful transcendental changes in his body. Sometimes he appeared as though stunned. Sometimes the hairs of his body stood on end. Sometimes he perspired, cried, trembled, and changed color. And sometimes he exhibited symptoms of helplessness, pride, exuberance, and humility. Verse 85. Achar khana pade bhume gadi Yaya Suvarna Parvat Yaiche Bhumete Lotai. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fell down with a crash while dancing, he would roll on the ground. At such times, it appeared that a golden mountain was rolling on the ground. Verse 86. Nityananda Prabhu Dui Hat Prasariya Prabhure Dharite Chahe Asha Pasha Dhana. Nityananda Prabhu would stretch out his two hands and try to catch the Lord when he was running here and there. Verse 87. Prabhu pache bhule acharya kariya hunkar hari bola hari bale bar bar. Advaitacharya would walk behind the Lord and loudly chant Hari bol again and again. Verse 88. Lok nivarite haila teen mandala pratham mandale nityananda mahabala. Just to check the crowds from coming too near the Lord, the devotees formed 3 circles. The first circle was guided by Nityananda Prabhu, who is Balaram himself, the possessor of great strength. Kashishwara Govindadi Yat Bhakt Gana Hata Hati Kari Haila Dvitiya Avarana. All the devotees headed by Kashishwar and Govinda linked hands together and formed a second circle around the Lord. Verse 90. Bahire Prataprudra Lena Patra Gana Mandal Hena Kare Lok Nivarana. Maharaj Prataprudra and his personal assistants formed a third circle around the 2 inner circles just to check the crowds from coming too near. Verse 91. Hari Chandanera Skandhe Hast Alambiya Prabhura Nritya Dekhe Raja Avisht Hena. With his hands on the shoulders of Hari Chandan, King Prataprudra could see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dancing, and the king felt great ecstasy. Verse 92. Hena Kale Srinivas Prema Vishta Mana Rajar Age Rahi Dekhe Prabhura Nartan. When the king beheld the dancing, Srivas Thakur standing in front of him became ecstatic as he saw the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Verse 93. Rajar Age Harichandan Dekhe Srinivas Haste Tanre Sparshi Kahe Hao Ekapash. Seeing Srivas Thakur standing before the king, Harichandan touched Srinivas with his hand and requested him to step aside. Verse 94. Nitya Veshe Srinivas Kichui na jane bar bar thele teno krodh haila mane. Absorbed in watching Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's dance, Srivas Thakur could not understand why he was being touched and pushed. After he was being pushed again and again, he became angry. Verse 95. Chapada Maria Tare Kaila Nivarana Chapad Khana Krudh Haila Harichandan. Srivas Thakur slapped Harichandan to stop him from pushing him. In turn, this made Harichandan angry. Verse 96. Krudh hena tanre kichu chahe balibare apni Prataprudra nivarila tare. As the angered Harichandan was about to speak to Srivas Thakur, Prataprudra Maharaj personally stopped him. Verse 97. Bhagyavan tumi inhar hast sparsha paila amar bhagya nahi tumi kritarth haila. King Prataprudra said, "You are very fortunate, for you have been graced by the touch of Srivas Thakur. I am not so fortunate. You should feel obliged to him." Verse 98. Prabhura nritya dekhi loke haila chamatkar anya achuk Jagannather Anand Apar. Everyone was astonished by the dancing of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and even Lord Jagannath became extremely happy to see him. Verse 99. Rathasthira Kaila Age na kare gamana Animisha Netre Kare Nritya Darshana. The car came to a complete standstill and remained immobile while Lord Jagannath, with unblinking eyes, watched the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Verse number 100. Subhadra Balramera Hridaya Ullas Nritya Dekhi Dui Janar Shri Mukhete Has Has. The goddess of fortune Subhadra and Lord Balram both felt great happiness and ecstasy within their heart. Indeed, they were seen smiling at the dancing. Verse 101. Uddanda Nritya Prabhura Adbhut Vikar Ashta Satvik Bhav Udaya Haya Samakal. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced and jumped high, 8 wonderful transformations indicative of divine ecstasy were seen in his body. All these symptoms were visible simultaneously. Verse 102. Mamsa Vrana Samaroma Vrinda Pulakita Simulir Vriksha Yena Kantaka veshtita. His skin erupted with goose pimples, and the hairs of his body stood on end. His body resembled the simuli, that is the silk cotton tree, all covered with thorns. Shimuli, actually it is. Verse 103. Eka eka dantera kamp dekhite lage bhaya, lok jane jane dant sab khasiya padaye. Indeed, the people became afraid just to see his teeth chatter, and they even thought that his teeth would fall out. Verse 104. Sarvange prasaveda chute tate raktodgama jaja gaga gadgada vachana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's whole body flowed with perspiration, and at the same time oozed blood. He made the sound jaja gaga in a voice choked with ecstasy. Verse 105. Jalayantra dhara yaiche vahe ashu jala asha pashe lokayata vijila sakala. Tears came forcefully from the eyes of the Lord as if from a syringe, and all the people surrounding him became wet. Verse 106. Deha kanti gaura varna dekhiya aruna, kabhu kanti dekhi yena mallika pushpa sama. Everyone saw the complexion of his body change from white to pink, so that his luster resembled that of the mallika flower. Verse 107. Kabhu stambha kabhu prabhu bhumite lotaye, shushk kasth samapada hasta na chalaye. Sometimes he appeared stunned, and sometimes he rolled on the ground. Indeed, sometimes his legs and hands became as hard as dry wood, and he did not move. Verse number 108. Kabhu bhume pare kabhu shwas haya hina haya yaha dekhi bhakta ganera prana haya kshina. When the Lord fell to the ground, sometimes his breathing almost stopped. When the devotees saw this, their lives also became very feeble. Verse 109. Kabhu netre nasai jala mukhe pade fena amritera dhara chandra bimbe vahe yena. Water flowed from his eyes and sometimes through his nostrils, and foam fell from his mouth. These flowings appeared to be torrents of nectar descending from the moon. Verse 110. Sai fena lena shubhanand kailapan Krishna prema rasika tenho maha bhagyavan. The foam that fell from the mouth of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taken and drunk by Shubhananda because he was very fortunate and expert in relishing the mellow of ecstatic love of Krishna. Verse 111. Aimata tandav nritya kaila katakshana bhav visheshe prabhura praveshila mana. After Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had performed his devastating dance for some time, his mind entered into a mood of ecstatic love. Verse 112. Tandav nritya chadi swarupera ajna dila hridaya janiya swarupa gaite lagila. After abandoning the dancing, the Lord ordered Swarup Damodar to sing. Understanding his mind, Swarup Damodar began to sing as follows. Verse 113. Saita paran nath paino yaha lagi madan dahane juri genu. Now I have gained the Lord of my life, the absence of whom I was being burned by Cupid and was withering away. Purport: this song refers to Srimati Radharani's meeting with Krishna at the holy place of Kurukshetra, where Lord Sri Krishna and his brother and sister came to visit when there was a solar eclipse. It is a song of separation from Krishna. When Radharani met Krishna at Kurukshetra, she remembered his intimate association in Vrindavan, and she thought, now I have gained the Lord of my life. In his absence I was being burned by the arrow of Cupid, and thus I was withering away. Now I have my life again. Verse 114. E dhuya uchaye sware gaye damodar anande madhur nritya karena ishwara. When this refrain was loudly sung by Swarup Damodar, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began rhythmically dancing in transcendental bliss. Verse 115. धीरे धीरे जगन्नाथ करेना गमन आगे नृत्य करी चलेना Shachira Nandan. The car of Lord Jagannath began to move slowly while the son of Mother Shachi went ahead and danced in front. Verse 116. Jagannathe netra diya sabhe nache gaye kirtaniya saha prabhu pache pache yaye. While dancing and singing, all the devotees in front of the Lord Jagannath kept their eyes on him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to the end of the procession with the Sankirtan performers. Verse 117. Jagannathe magna prabhura nayana hridaya shri hasta yuge kare gitera abhinaya. His eyes and mind fully absorbed in Lord Jagannath, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to play the drama of the song with his two arms. Verse 118. Gora yadi pache chale shyama haye stire, Gora age chale shyama chale dhire dhire. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dramatically enacting the song, he would sometimes fall behind the procession. At such times, Lord Jagannath would come to a standstill. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again went forward, Lord Jagannath's car would slowly start again. Verse 190 next time. Thank you for